popular tune, adopted by many a German football club up and down the country as well. He loves to just keep himself in touch with the fans out there. Very popular figure, Alan Norris. Final match of the night here on day 2 of the European Darts Open. K.Anderson is his opponent. Alan Norris, one of the qualifiers from the UK region, but elevated to the role of 16th seed after the late withdrawal of Phil Taylor. So Norris is the seeded player. Anderson is the qualifier, and he came through against Christo Reyes 6-5 yesterday to set up this meeting. Michael van Gerwen, 9 minutes 43 in seeing off Jamie Caven, and van Gerwen will face the winner of this one. Will it be Norris? Will it be Anderson? A question for Paul Nicholson.
Well, interesting, because last night K.Anderson was in a real scrap with Christo Reyes, and he had to rely on missed doubles from Christo to get to this stage, but I think Kyle played really well last night. I think he is in a vein of form, probably playing the darts of his life, so he's going to be hard to beat.
First leg, Kyle to throw first. Game on!
Semi-finalist, of course, in the last European Tour event in Vienna. So he's just got something behind him at the moment.
Well, the bookies couldn't separate them. They had them at a dead heat. My response, what price a draw? Of course, you can't get draws on the European Tour.
41.
Only winners.
Yep, Anderson throwing first, winning the bull-off behind stage before the match started.
58.
So if we do go to a deciding leg, and I for one think we might well do, that could well come into play. We shall see.
I think you're right. It's a pretty tight encounter. Both guys pushing for seedings.
85.
Alan Norris elevated to that because of Phil's absence, as you mentioned. But Kyle's not that far off that himself. It's a great prize to get at the end of the rainbow.
140.
Because if you want to progress on the European Tour and the world rankings, you want to be at the thick end of these European events. And if your first game is on a Saturday night or a Saturday
85.
afternoon, it's a lot less stressful.
Yeah. You mentioned Anderson and the run that he's on at the moment. He's made over £63,000 in prize money this year. Last 32 at the World Championship starting things off. A run to the last 8 of the UK Open as well. Last 16 at the World Match Play. Beat Vincent van der Voort there before losing to Michael van Gerwen.
Kyle, you require
And then a run to the semi-finals in Vienna last month as well. And also did well in the Players' Championship events in Barnsley in March. Got to the semis of one of those, and he's got the first leg on the board here as well.
Yeah, that's pretty crisp indeed. It's interesting though, if we take the last
55.
game into consideration with Jamie Caven and MVG, Jamie has lost 10-0 to
134.
MVG at the World Match Play. Someone who knows about 10-0 losses is K.Anderson.
Yeah.
He suffered a 10-0 defeat to Jelle Klassen at the UK Open. So look how he's rebounded over the last few months. So if Jamie watches this,
93.
don't take it to heart too much. It's just one of those things.
It's encouraging. That's what it is. It's something that happens, but something that must be learned from.
Happens to us all.
Used as a good experience. Well, in any sport as well. You know, there are peaks and troughs. There are the horror shows that go with the glories.
And we tend to talk about the horror shows even more, which accentuates it, admittedly. But no, I think Jamie's playing really well. But these two guys, for me, on a very level par at the moment. Both very, very dangerous scorers when they get going.
Yeah.
52.
How many Chuck Norris jokes are we going to have in this game?
Well, I know you've got a few in your locker.
Some of them can't be said on TV or online.
Kyle will require
But
128.
I will say it's pretty hot on that stage, but Chuck Norris just doesn't get affected by the heat.
81.
Well, scratchy stuff at the moment from Anderson. He is down to 47 after 15 darts.
I don't think Alan's too pleased with the way he's played so far, but he can rectify that with 54 on tops, not to be.
58.
But Kyle, without setting the world alight, can be 2-0 in front by hitting double 16, and he does.
On the second leg.
Alan Norris knows exactly what's going on. That's a poor start from him in his book. He'll have wanted to do exactly what Kyle's done, get the jump on him early.
We alluded to it earlier. It was here last year where perhaps Alan Norris began his very productive year of form. He was a quarter-finalist at this event last July. One of 5 European events he played in. And then, of course, he had the
42
run. Well, he had, first of all, before the run at the World Championship, he had his first PDC title of his career at the Players' Championship in Dublin. Then made the quarters at the World Championship, beat Robert Thornton there.
60.
Before that 5-4 defeat by Jelle Klaassen. PDC's Newcomer of the Year award, that followed as well.
He's getting railed up now.
21.
And that's what Alan does when he plays his best stuff. But I echo what you just said there. Back in the last year, he was playing fantastic stuff. And that game against Jelle Klaassen was
100.
absolutely sensational. I could watch that game over and over again. And both players were brilliant.
100.
They really were.
Yeah, he doesn't look too happy though at the moment, Alan Norris. He's chuntering to himself as he made his way back from the board there to retrieve his dart.
60.
Well, I don't think Kyle's putting him under too much pressure in this leg. So more 60s are what are required.
135.
Yep. Using the 180 sign as a fan. Here's one he made earlier, and this is what Kyle's making now.
180. I only require 103.
It's just not going Alan's way at the moment, is it? You know, he's playing half decent.
62.
But yet again,
44.
K.Anderson, 2 darter, 12 for the double that he hit the last leg. Can he do it again? Yes, he can. And in the flash of an eye, the two people that we couldn't separate, or the bookies could, it's 3-0 K.Anderson.
All of a sudden, yeah. 3 from 4 as well on his doubles. But if you look at the actual visits, it's 3 from 3 if you like. It doesn't really matter if you miss the first double as long as you hit it with the second.
60.
So pretty brutal on his finishing as well. The scoring's not spectacular, but it doesn't have to be at the moment. Alan Norris is way down on 80.8 as average at
the moment. 80.
What is very interesting for me is that Alan Norris arrived in Dusseldorf for this event expecting to play yesterday. So mentally, he's thinking, okay, I'm getting ready for Friday. He's had to wait a very long time to play his first match. He got here on Thursday. It's now Saturday night.
Yeah.
It's a long way to wait for a game.
96.
Yeah, we sort of talked about this yesterday, whether it's a positive or a negative. I think you can look at it both ways. Okay, he's had a lot of waiting around to do. We'll just see if Norris can check this out. No, he can't.
70.
But on the flip side, he's been given a day off and he's been given guaranteed extra prize money to boot as well. But the other downside is, of course, you've played Michael van Gerwen as the number 16 seed, assuming Van Gerwen gets through, which he has indeed done. But Norris is on the mark here now, at long last. 13 dart leg, he'll feel much better about that.
Yeah, we talked in the last game with a succession of brilliant darts from the guys.
120.
That Russ Bray wasn't getting much time to breathe. Well, it's the same with this game. It's rat-a-tat-tat.
Yeah.
59.
I like the way Kyle's darts go on the board. It just leaves a lot of room wherever he plots that point. Whether it's in the bottom of the 60, the top of the 60, it still looks big. Because those big, long points give him plenty of room. And we've talked about power scorers on many occasions. I personally think that one of the best scorers in the world is Alan Norris.
100.
He has a gift of getting those darts close together.
Yes, I've noticed that before. Well, certainly in Europe as well, I've noticed it when you watch him day in, day out.
100.
Almost through the eye of a polo mint, aren't they, really? They're so clustered together.
There's a good trick shot to try at home.
Do you fancy your chances at that? Alan Norris could probably pull it off.
100.
Michael van Gerwen could almost certainly pull it off.
He could probably do it blindfolded. It's all about K.Anderson in this leg. So far, Alan Norris needed that 140 to get in the leg. But he might not come back if Kyle can hit a Shanghai 20. He can't. He's going to try the 16s to leave double 16, and it's a good shot.
Alan, you require 102.
So Norris here to break back. It's a good chance now. Oh, he's hit the 15, and look what it means as well. He's absolutely furious with himself. 27 remaining now,
27.
which you've just heard Russ Bray emphasise.
Well, if you want to slap your thigh in anger, don't do it with a dart in your hand. It might just hurt, so don't try that at home. But K.Anderson is coming back for 32. That's the gate he gave himself the last time he hit it, but that's awkward.
16.
It was very awkward. He didn't move. I don't think he felt he needed to move, but in retrospect, maybe he should have.
Well, despite missing the 2 when he was looking for a 102 checkout, Alan Norris might get a chance here, and he hasn't. He hasn't taken the opportunity.
16.
Not messing around.
Game shot in the 5th leg.
4-1 it is.
K.Anderson.
Well, it should be 3-2. That's what Alan Norris will be saying to himself now, but he can't afford to dwell on the past. He simply has to get on the job in hand and determine what he can determine. The here and now.
Well, sometimes we watch matches of great quality with lots of 180s and huge finishes. We've seen that tonight from Gerwin Price. Big scoring from Van Gerwen, from Gary Anderson. But this game's different. It's a game of
40.
small misses and mistakes. And in a funny sort of way, that's quite enthralling, because you think, well, who's going to make the least amount of mistakes?
Yeah, it's enthralling, but we've made the point before, when it's over a short format like this, those small mistakes are just accentuated to the nth degree. And the fine margins become much greater.
34.
If you wanted to be one of these players right now, you'd definitely be K.Anderson with that 3-leg lead.
140.
And the quality is there between both players. There's just been 1 or 2 slack darts that are costing them the legs.
140.
Some of the crowd have been here all day and tried to some fantastic darts, just like this.
140.
Confident leave on tops after 12 for Chuck.
Well, he needs a good, solid finish here. Doesn't want to be messing around, heading to double 10 and double 5. He just wants a nice, clean take here, just to steady himself. And that's exactly what he's got.
Alan Norris, 7th leg call to throw first. Game on.
Effectively just the one breaker throw down, but with Anderson throwing first, he has that cushion as well. Norris has it all to do. He still would want to be in Anderson's shoes here.
The thing is, in these situations, you find out what kind of player you are when you're standing behind them.
180.
And I think Alan Norris is an animated player. He needs to be riled up. Look at him just G'ing himself up by gritting his teeth, and a little bit of a salute to the crowd with that beautiful 180. That's the dart I'm talking about, Rob. That final dart of that visit, that's a dart that a lot of people can't do. It's forced under the point of the second dart. And that's something that Chisnell can do, something that Van Gerwen can do. I think Vincent van der Voort can do that as well. But it's a really hard skill. And look at where he's sitting after 9 darts in this leg. Boy, did he need this.
Yeah, 180, 140 and a 145. He's on a 10-dart leg here. We had one of those earlier today, but Anderson might have something to say.
140, Alan, you
Well, it could have been better. Got Alan Norris here, double 18.
He thought it was in.
He was off to retrieve his darts there, but there was no call from Russ. On we go. And now he's got the perils of double 9, and he's come inside the wire as well, and Anderson can just gobble this up maybe.
Biggest visit of the match for me. If he hits this, this knocks the wind out of Chuck Norris. And he's done it. He knows how big that was. That stopped all the momentum that Chuck had.
Well, that's astonishing. Alan Norris there was on a 10-dart finish. 180, 140, 145, and he still lost the leg. Nothing is going to plan here for Alan Norris. And K.Anderson now just one leg away from meeting Michael Van Gerwen tomorrow. And there we see the averages. Anderson's first 9 average is much lower than that of Norris, but it's later on in the leg where the damage is being done.
I think it's a testament to how far K.Anderson's come in the game.
180.
Because Alan Norris is throwing the kitchen sink and the entire kitchen at him right now, and it's still not enough.
140.
Yeah, there's been some good patches of scoring in this match.
I think if you were Alan Norris right now, he'd say, can we start the game again? Because if you played a best of 11 from now, I think Alan Norris would probably win. But unfortunately, he's 5-2 down.
Yeah.
180. Alan require 41.
41. He's just managed to get the words out, and yeah, he's got another one on the board.
Well, he's not going to give up, that's for sure. 3 more legs and you've won. It's as simple as that. But you've got K.Anderson in your way. The way he's playing as well. Wow!
This is brilliant. This is a really good, high-quality encounter now. Took a while to get going.
130.
Can we go to extra legs if Kyle wins this?
I'd like to.
This is really good, folks.
100.
Yeah, effectively a battle between 2 men who came through qualifying, even though Norris was then later elevated. Tell you what, Russ Bray's vocal cords are being stretched here, aren't they?
They really are, and they
word.
are gravelly to start with, but we're in danger. If this match doesn't finish soon, he might lose his voice.
Down to 186 after 6 darts, 1-2-1 after 9 for Anderson. Can Norris get over the line and break back
96.
and at least extend this match into another leg?
Well, the pressure's on this 1-2-1. He's got to hit it. Treble 17. 84.
57.
64. So Chuck, he's still in this game, you know. 65 left. Double 10.
70.
That was a huge chance.
Kyle will require 64.
It was great approach play, great setup play. But again, he couldn't find the double. That's been his undoing at times today.
And Kyle loves the bottom left of the board, and that's what he's going to utilise. Probably treble 16 as opposed to treble 8. Single 16. Didn't think about it. It's tops. It is tops for a 6-3 victory. What a great game of darts from both players, and lots of respect at the end. But it took a while to get going, Rob. But my God, we were threatening the end.
We certainly were, Paul. It's a brilliant way to round off what has been a terrific day, too, of the European Darts Open. But ultimately, it is Kyle Anderson who goes through to meet Michael van Gerwen in the last 16 tomorrow. The action will resume at 1 o'clock for the afternoon session. We'll have 8 third-round ties for you. And then, of course, in the evening session itself, the quarterfinals, the semi-finals, and the final itself. Michael Smith against Stephen Bunting, Ian White against Terry Jenkins, Daryl Gurney against Mensah Suljovic, Peter Wright, Gerwin Price, Jan Dekker against Gary Anderson, Kim Huybrechts and Wes Newton, Jelle Klaassen and James Wade, and then Kyle Anderson against the world #1 to round things off tomorrow, Michael van Gerwen. Thanks for joining us today. More of the same tomorrow, if you please.
Kyle, congratulations. Good match, I say.
Yeah, no, I felt good. I practiced well up in the room, and I came down. I felt real confident. Against Alan, I know I had to play in my game, and Alan played well towards the end of it. But I got the first 3 legs and had to jump on him, but I kept on it, and yeah, it came out in the end.
You need to be in shape. MVG is waiting now.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's Michael. What can you say? You've got to play well against Michael, and hopefully I can play well again against Michael and good on a good game. You know, I played him in Austria. I hit 3 balls. You know, anything can happen.
We're looking forward to that. Thank you very much. Kyle Anderson, the original, ist also der morgige Gegner. Er sagt, das war eine gute Partie. Er hat schon gut am Practice Board gespielt. Er hat das irgendwie mit runternehmen können hier auf die Bühne und ist sehr zufrieden in der Art und Weise, wie er Alan Norris heute bezwingen konnte. Michael van Gerwen gegen